Hello everyone, and welcome back to this channel. We have been absent for some time, but we are back now, and we came back with a bang because we got nine fights right on this card and only 2 wrong, okay? And I got every underdog pick except for Mckinney correct. So let's jump into this. This is going to be the recap. We're going to start off with Hamdy, Abdelwahab, and Jamal Pogues. This was the fight that started off the prelim card. And honestly, I don't have much to say about this because it was literally just 2 fat dudes, like, pitter-patting each other, okay? Hamdy obviously won the decision. He's the Muslim out of the 2, of course. So it was basically a draw, but Hamdy got it. Next up, we had Bogdan Grad and Lucas Alexander. Guys, I picked Bogdan Grad to win this one. And, for the first, 30, 45 seconds, it really seemed like Lucas Alexander might be the one to get it. He seemed like he was quicker. Bogdan Grad took a moment to kind of figure him out. But once he did, he just, held on for dear life and got the finish, Got the finish with pure heart and soul. So that was my first underdog pick on this card. Next up, we had Jasmine. I'm just gonna kind of skim over most of the prelim card because I think the juicy bits happen in the main card. But anyhow, Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Mayra Bueno, guys. An interesting fight. Mayra Bueno looked like she, someone pulled her out of the cave that she was hibernating in, and she kind of showed up like, I'm here for my paycheck, this is the kind of vibe that I kind of saw during the fight. I think she should retire. I'm not sure exactly what she's doing, but yeah, it felt kind of like, after the first round, I felt like I was watching a woman get abused. And she just kind of took everything that was happening. Again, if you guys agree, thinking that Mayra Bueno should retire, let me know. I think it's time after seeing her this fight and the last one. All right, next up we had Terrence Mckinney versus Damir Hadzovic. The reason I actually picked Damir to win in this fight was because Terrence Mckinney had disappointed me so much the last time I picked him, and even though this time everyone was saying he can't lose this one, I still picked against him. Terrence Mckinney destroyed this guy in 45 seconds. Damir had 0 answers from the get-go. He was extremely slow and basically just took everything that Terrence sent his way. So that was that. He got the KO. Now let's move on to Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Petersen. Shamil Gaziev actually looked in pretty good shape this time around. Better, I would say, than the last time we saw him. He looked a little more fit and a little more alert. And yeah, Thomas Petersen looked like a gamer. Really, like a gamer that was just playing CSGO. They pulled him out of his chair and were like, okay, dude, it's time to fight. And he showed up and didn't really know what to do. Shamil Gaziev got the first round KO. That was that. Next up, for some reason, I honestly don't remember this fight too much. I really didn't stick around in my memory, but Muhammad Naimov versus Kaan Ofli. All I remember was that, Muhammad Naimov actually had, a few good moments. That's all I remember, watching this fight and thinking, Muhammad Naimov is having a good moment. Better than the last fight that we saw him in. Anyhow, he won. I feel like this was a decision. I honestly can't recall this fight for some reason. I don't know why. It's literally just a blank space in my mind. But honestly, guys, you're not missing much because it wasn't super eventful. All I'm going to say is that I picked Muhammad Naimov to win and he won. So, all right, let's move on to Ziam versus Mike Davis. This was actually a pretty good fight. Ziam just did not give Mike Davis a single moment to get on top at all. He was so fast, and it felt like he just like conjured demonic energy or something to win this fight, because I've never seen a man beat another man with like so much punishment in his punches, you know? Like it felt really brutal. Like the way that I saw Mike Davis's head bounce back from the canvas after getting completely smacked by Ziam was really something to be seen, you know? And made me kind of like flinch a little bit, not gonna lie. But yeah, and Ziam just completely bloodied Mike Davis by the end of it. Ferez's white shorts were pink, and you know, it looked like they were finger painting all over the octagon. So yeah, pretty bloody fight. Probably one fight of the night. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, pretty amazing. A lot of people were doubting Ziam, but yeah, this guy pulled through. I think some people just have this super, like, you know how Hamza Chimaev is just Satan's little spawn? Like, there's just, you know, some people just have these internal traumas that they haven't fully processed, and they channel them through pure anger. So Ziam seems to be one of these people. All right, let's move on then to Said Nurmagomedov and Vinicius Oliveira. Guys, again, I believe this was an underdog pick. I picked Vinicius Oliveira. He just looked so good at the weigh-ins. And Said Nurmagomedov looked pretty good for about maybe just the first round, I guess. Most of the first round. And then towards the end, Vinicius Oliveira ended up like on top and controlling Said Nurmagomedov. And it was literally all downhill from then on for Said Nurmagomedov, because he just like slowly gassed out, and Vinicius Oliveira just surpassed him in everything that was happening. It got to the point where Said Nurmagomedov couldn't even like defend himself from the takedowns or anything. Like, he was just protecting his head in these crouched over positions. Yeah, and Vinicius Oliveira was just so much quicker, sharper. He obviously wanted the win more. I don't know what happened with Said Nurmagomedov, but it was almost a little bit embarrassing. Yeah, it was a good fight. Literally just Vinicius Oliveira slowly winning. Yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Let's move on to Sergei Pavlovich and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Guys, of course, I picked Sergei Pavlovich to win. It wasn't honestly a super exciting fight or anything, but Sergei Pavlovich just went in there, obviously with a plan, with a technique, didn't want to do anything crazy. We all know how his last two fights went. So I think he just walked into this with a little bit of like PTSD from the previous fights. So I understand that, you know, like, he was known for being super explosive usually, and can't always do that, especially when you got KO'd by Tom Aspinall very quickly, very embarrassingly. So I understand what he was going for here, and I honestly kind of preferred him winning this way, just because, like, why the hell would he, you know, take huge chances just to look good? I don't know. This was a good moment for him, and you know, I think he played a very safe, respectable fight. So good for him, you know. Yeah, okay. Let's move on now to Shara Nurmagomedov versus Michael Venom Page, guys. I picked Michael Venom Page when everybody was picking Shara Nurmagomedov, because why again? Oh, because he just has more tools in his arsenal. He's more well-rounded. I feel like Shara is just, he's got more chances of winning this fight. But what the hell were you guys talking about? Because as we saw, Shara has only one good eye, okay? All he can really do is kick also. Like, I don't know, I feel like people were just like fantasizing about like what skills Shara actually had, when in reality, like, oh yeah, this dude can just kind of kick sometimes from a distance, you know? Which he could barely even do in what we saw tonight. Like, I maybe saw him shoot 7 kicks. Out of those, he landed maybe 1. And they weren't even, like, confident kicks. I don't know what he was doing. I felt like he could barely get close, and every time he did, he just got caught by Michael Venom Page. and his head bobbled. Like, that's all I remember seeing every time Nurmagomedov tried to go in. Yeah, this dude just fully got exposed. I'm sure his, one blind eye didn't help him, especially against someone like Michael Venom Page. And even when Nurmagomedov, thought he was gonna corner him, Michael Venom Page just, cheekily ran away into, towards the other side to go back to the center of the octagon. Anyways, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But that was just 3 rounds of Michael Venom Page riding the wave to victory, and Nurmagomedov just being confused and not understanding what the hell was even going on. So, yeah, that's how that went, honestly. Pretty amazing. I'm happy for MVP, especially since last time he got a little bit clowned by Ian Gary, and everybody was looking at that fight being like, oh, Michael Venom Page lost so hard. What did he even do? And then, we see a fight like this, oh, yeah, of course. Of course Michael Venom Page is going to... Of course the boxer who's been doing this for, decades is going to win against the one-eyed ginger Dagestani who can only really kick sometimes, and who has been spoon-fed his last few opponents, just because Saudi Arabia likes him for his star qualities. I don't know. Anyhow, MVP won, guys, of course. And by this point, we were actually 9-1. So the only fight I got incorrect up until this point was the Terrence Mckinney fight, which, okay, I'll take the L on that one. The last fight on this card was Izzy Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. So I picked Izzy to win because I was delusional enough to think that, he was humbled just the right amount after the Dricus du Plessis fight. I thought that maybe he had an awakening moment, maybe a spiritual realization within himself, So it really felt that way because his presence at the press conference was so calm. He looked good at the weigh-ins. He seemed confident but not cocky. Well, apparently that was all just for show, because Israel Adesanya went in there and got KO'd in the first round. I'm pretty sure it was the first round. Maybe the second round. I think it was the second round, actually. Anyhow, I was so disappointed I forgot. But, first round was I couldn't really tell who won. I think it was Izzy, actually, that won just a little, was doing just a little bit better. But in the beginning of round 2, I don't know why he had so much confidence, because really he didn't do anything to really feel that way about himself, in my opinion. And then he just completely got chinned by Nasruddin Imavov. His chin was so open, and Nasruddin Imavov just went and took it. And I don't know, the moment Izzy fell and Nasruddin Imavov just started attacking him, it was a moment that I was disappointed, but you know what? I was not surprised. At the end of the day, I'm like, God, I should have known this again. At this point, I think Izzy's chin is just gone, completely eroded, especially after, his last loss with Dricus. Now this, I think he's just over it. I don't know. I think he just, he's probably moving on to the next stage of his life mentally, because this wasn't really the performance of a real fighter, and all it was just Israel Adesanya trying to look stoic and tricking and fooling us all into thinking that he's a real fighter. I don't know. I don't want to say a real fighter because he's a real fighter, but you guys know what I mean. Anyhow, that's it for this recap, guys. Again, I'm going to remind you, we were 9-2 this time around, and, a lot of these picks were underdog picks. I'm pretty sure I did better than all the other prediction channels, so maybe you guys can check that out and see if that's actually true or not. Anyhow, that'll be all. It's nice to be back. Thank you for everyone who joined my stream, and for everyone that commented, and for everyone that donated. Super appreciate that. Once again, of course. And that'll be all. I'll see you guys next week for Dricus versus Sean Strickland 2. That's all. Thank you guys again. See you next time.